girls, women, ladies, females, or just the wonderful human beings. We often talk about what makes a woman attractive, what makes a woman desirable, but very rarely do we hear things like what makes a woman wholesome, what makes a woman self-sufficient, and things like that. So if you want to hear my views on what a woman or a girl should actually possess, stay tuned. It's going to be a fun conversation today. Hey guys, my name is Untitled Sharma. I am a woman with 34 years of experience on this planet Earth, and I would also like to admit or confess that I do possess good observational skills as well. So if you want to know more about me or this channel, look out for the introduction video above. Otherwise, let's get right into today's topic. So the topic for today is what should a woman possess? And I'm not talking about materialistic possessions here. Before we start, I do want to quote Michelle Obama here. There's no limit to what a woman can accomplish. Now let's get into it. Now, in my humble opinion, there are 3 traits or 3 things that a woman should definitely possess. First one being the attitude, or the right attitude I should say. Second one, at least one skill. The third one, having a voice of her own. Now let's start off with the attitude. Within attitude itself, there are 3 types that I want to call out specifically in the order of their importance. First one, the attitude to learn and grow. The attitude to never give up. The attitude to not give a damn. Let's see what each of these mean. Alright, the first one is the attitude to learn and grow. So you want to make sure at whatever stage of life you are in, you want to make sure that you are learning a new thing every day. Because the times are changing so fast, everything around is just evolving so fast. In order to make sure that you are able to cope up with that, you need to make sure you are learning a new thing every day. For example, let's say that you use social media. I think everybody uses social media nowadays. So taking that as an example, maybe on social media, instead of just mindlessly scrolling and seeing what other people are doing, you could utilize that time to learn how social media has evolved, how can you contribute to it, how do people make money off of social media, how do people make money off of freelancing and stuff like that. So there's just too much to learn. It's just we need to have that right attitude. And if at this point someone says me that they are too busy, I do want to let you know that I have a full-time job. It requires like at least 10 hours of my daily routine, and then apart from that I also have 2 very active children. One of them is 4 years old and one of them is 1 year old. So my hands are already very full, but despite that I definitely make sure that I'm able to take out maybe half an hour or maybe 1 hour every day. I don't think I can spend more than 1 hour every day for that, but I definitely make sure that I'm spending that time on myself, on learning something new which is going to benefit me in the long run. So I would highly recommend doing that, because if you're just telling me you are busy, you are just making an excuse to not adapt yourself to learning and adapt yourself to growing. So I would highly recommend taking out time for yourself, learn a new thing so that you can grow and evolve and adapt with the changing times. For example, someone can be interested in learning English as an example, or they could be interested in maybe reading English or writing English. So every day if they spend 15 minutes of their time, it will equate to almost 2 hours a week. And then if you take it over a monthly basis, it's going to be like 8 hours or something. So you want to make sure that you are doing that as a habit consistently, because over a period of 3 months or over a period of 6 months, that 15 minutes that you spend every day on yourself is going to make a huge difference. So you definitely want to make sure that you have that attitude to learn and grow. Only then you will be able to succeed in whatever you want to achieve in your life. Now within attitude, there's second thing that I mentioned, you should also have an attitude to never give up. So while you are learning new things and growing alongside it every day, you also want to make sure that you are not giving up on it. Giving up is the most easy thing that anyone can do, but there is no substitute for consistency and hard work. Do that consistently for 3 months, 6 months, and you will 100% see the returns that you want to do. So make sure you are not giving up on what you want to do. So the main reason that I've seen people usually give up is because their thoughts get in the way. So just taking the example wherein a person wants to learn English again. So taking that example, you are studying every day for, not studying, you are just researching every day for 15 minutes, and while you're browsing that, you see other videos and recommendation, you're like, okay, let me just say this first, or let me maybe switch the topic to something else which is going to be more beneficial. Don't do that. So the tip that I have for you in this step is just execute and don't think while you are executing. Just think and put your brain while you're planning for it at the beginning. But every day when you're spending 15 minutes or 30 hours watching video, reading something online, don't think so much like maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that, because we all have that tendency. Our mind does get in a way a lot of times. Don't do that. So stay consistent and do not think while you're executing. And don't set unrealistic goals. Just set 3 months. Yeah, let's see, because 3 months is easily achievable. But if you set it for 1 year, your mind is going to be like, oh my God, 1 year is such a long time. I don't know if I'll be able to cope up with it or not. So don't set such huge goals. Set smaller goals. Maybe 1 month also is a good goal. 3 months, 2 months, whatever is feasible for you. The point is you should have an attitude to not give up. And the way you will have that attitude is if you don't think while you're executing. You are just doing what needs to be done. So that attitude should definitely be there. Now, the third thing under attitude that I would highly recommend is having an attitude of not giving a damn. I think this is where 80% of people stop doing something that they want to do, just because they're thinking things like, what will people say? What will my family think? Will that person be offended if I do this? Will I be able to make everyone happy? Ladies, just stop. Don't think all of this. You need to start having the attitude of not caring about what other people think. So you need to just start your journey and just make it happen. So again, the tip at this step that I usually follow is I listen to everybody, because why not? Let's just listen. Maybe there's someone who actually is trying to help you, but most of the people, they are just either mostly judging you. Let's just say that. So instead of doing that, listen to everyone and do whatever you like, right? So listen to everyone's opinions, but at the end do what your heart feels that you should do. And if you don't even listen to most people, that's also completely fine. But the point here is that your attitude should be in a way that you are not giving a damn. You are not caring about what other people think of you. If you think learning English is something that you want to do, is going to help you, start doing that without thinking what will other people think. So how will you practice? So for example, for those 3 months you have been consistent, you're learning every day, you're spending 15 minutes or half an hour every day. Now start practicing the communication. Maybe start talking with your children, because children don't judge. They're the sweetest people on planet. So start talking with your child, or start talking with others, or maybe put statuses on for Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram in English. Start doing start following these baby steps. It's really going to help you. And if you have all these 3 attitudes, you are just going to be amazing. If you've changed your mindset, if you're able to control your emotions and change your attitude, you are just going to excel at any field that you're in. So I would highly recommend focusing on these 3 attitudes. Attitude to learn and grow, always. Attitude to never give up, consistent, ladies. Be consistent with what you're doing. The third one is the attitude to not give a damn. If you're able to control your mind to take care of these 3 attitudes, you are going to be amazing. That's all. Alright, now let's take a little step back. We just deep dived into what attitudes should we have. In the beginning, I had mentioned there are 3 things that a woman should possess. Attitude, we've already discussed that in detail. The second thing that a woman should possess is at least 1 skill. So the reason I've listed it out as a separate item is because you can have all the attitude in the world, but in order to be independent, you need to have at least 1 skill. You need to excel at least 1 skill in order to make money. So I repeat, do not rely on someone to pay for your expenses. Simple. I know, we have all our history with us, wherein it's very common for a man to be earning and a woman to be not earning. The times have changed, and it's not about being a man or a woman. It's about being a person who's independent. So it's a very important thing that a woman should possess nowadays is at least 1 skill that will help them make money and help them survive on their own. There is no greater joy than being independent, than being able to spend your own money in the way that you want. There is no greater joy than that. So I would highly recommend that spend your effort and time on learning at least one skill. It could literally be anything. If you're good at cooking, spend your time learning it efficiently and then find ways to monetize using cooking. So now before I give more examples, I know these skills, they are usually gender specific. People make them gender specific. For example, people associate cooking being a thing that only a female should do, whereas most of the successful cooks in the world are actually male chefs. I don't know why, it's weird. But so before you choose in on any skill, don't worry, there is no skill that is gender specific. So you want to do bike riding, if you love it, just do it, and just think about ways you can monetize on it. If you like stitching, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not something that should be looked down on, or it's not something that is not the need of today. So pursue stitching, pursue cooking, pursue teaching, whatever it is that you are really good at. Don't shy away from pursuing that. But the important point here is you should have at least one skill that you can make money off. That is a very basic and a very important thing that a woman should definitely possess. And now that we are talking about skills, we live in times wherein there are just unlimited options available online. You don't have to go out to make money. There are unlimited options available working from home. So if you have time crunch or whatever, there are many options that are available online. You can do freelancing, you can do copywriting, taking an example of English as an example, which we are doing from the beginning. So you can do freelancing, you can do copywriting, you can provide virtual assistants. There are plenty of things that you can definitely do. You just need to at least learn one skill. And I'm repeatedly saying at least one skill because you need at least one skill to get started. And then when you actually go out and start looking out for jobs, you might see there's this thing that I also should learn because this is the need of the market, and then you should learn that as well. So that ties back to the attitude of learn and grow. So it's not like I've learned one skill and I'm not getting job, I'm quitting. No, that should not happen. Learn one skill, have the attitude to learn and grow, have the attitude of not giving up, learn that additional skill again, and then try again. So that needs to be a cycle. All the things that I'm saying here, they are so interrelated to develop the whole personality. So definitely follow along with me. Alright, if you've stayed so far and if you've liked what you just heard, do not forget to hit like and subscribe. In addition, if you think, whatever I've spoken about attitude or whatever I've spoken about skills, if you think that you need any help with any of the above, I am providing a free consultation. There is a link in the description below to book a one-on-one meeting with me. So follow that link. Feel free to set up a meeting on my calendar. I am happy to connect with you and help you in any way that I can. I will be privileged to be able to do it. So definitely do not hesitate to ask for help if you are feeling stuck. And if you think whatever I'm saying is jargon, do not hesitate and just feel free to book that if you would like. Now, the third thing that a woman should definitely possess is having a voice. So what that means is you've got to be able to stand up for yourself, right? So let people call you bossy or adamant or rude or dominating, whatever terms people are using, let them use it. You got to know when you have to stand up for yourself, because no one else is going to be able to if you're not doing it yourself, right? So, and I'm not saying, just go out and talk unnecessarily without making any sense. I'm not saying that. So actually, this reminds me of a quote that I'd heard a couple of months back. We've been given 2 ears and 1 mouth. Why? Because we need to listen twice as much as we speak. That fits perfectly in this scenario, that you've got to listen, you've got to process that information, you've got to analyze and then talk. You don't have to just talk mindlessly just because you have to talk, just because you've heard in a video that I should talk. So you've got to think and process and make sense of what you're talking. So what you have to do is you have to listen, you have to process, you have to analyze and talk. What you should not do is listening, processing, analyzing, and then thinking, maybe I should not speak because because it's not my place to speak. So don't do that. So what I'm trying to say is, make sure you know the places wherein you have to talk for yourself, wherein you have to stand for yourself, because if you're not raising a voice for yourself, no one else is going to be able to do it. So you might have all the right attitude and you might have a skill and you're also working, but then you're not speaking up for yourself, which will result into people bullying you or people passing on comments to you, which will affect your mental health, etc. So don't hesitate to speak up for yourself, but make sure whatever you are speaking up makes sense and is realistic and is going to, put sense in the other person as well, if you will. So I think it's going to be really important. So all the three things that I've said, I think a woman should definitely possess. Anything outside this, your physical appearances, your clothes, your, body language, all of those things don't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to repeat it. All of those things don't matter. If you have the skill set to be able to make money for yourself and support your family, if you have the right attitude to keep going, and if you have a voice to stand up for yourself, there is nothing stopping you, girl. So you just need to have these three things to be able to make mark in your own life and to be able to move forward. So that is what I would definitely recommend. Now, I hope you've really liked this content and I hope it is helpful to at least one person watching this. If it is, let me know via comments. And as I said earlier as well, if you think I'm just, speaking rubbish and, this is not practical, these are all my experiences, guys. So feel free to book a free consultation with me. I'm happy to provide assistance and help you in any way I can. As I said, it's a privilege for me if I'm able to help at least one person out there with what I'm talking in and with what I have learned so far. So definitely do that. And needless to say, hit like and subscribe. Otherwise, see you all next week. Bye-bye.